Hey BC, it's Greeno. Well, wanted to do an update, kind of show a couple new things in, just what's been spinning. Just been kind of mixing those together here lately. And also maybe kind of maybe start a thread or just basic question here. But anyways, I'll get to that at the end, and that has to do with everything in the background here. And I'll kind of explain it at the end, I guess. Alright, let's kind of get started. Another new shirt, Which Fine, Give 'Em Hell. Pulled out the album from 1980. New wave British heavy metal. Hadn't spun it forever, and we'll be spinning it soon. Today. What's playing in the background? Actually, starting right off here, 2 killer albums. Just got these in. And this is the one playing in the background. It's Nightmare, High Speed Venom. Hopefully you can hear it. And wow, this is like, it's another one of these deals. I checked it out online and I was like, okay, yeah, wasn't blown away by it. But it popped up, it's an import on Heavy Forces. It popped up on a US site for a good price. I thought, well, I'll go ahead and give it a shot. Sounds so much better on vinyl, once I got it home and spinning. I knew nothing about this band. They're from Colombia, and actually this album is 11 years old. It's from 2004. And I thought it was pretty much brand new, maybe a couple years old. But of course the cover is what caught my eye right off the bat. I mean, this looks like an old Ebony release from the 80s, man. It's just great cover. And to be quite honest, it's what the album sounds like. It's just that mid-80s underground kind of metal. And really good, man. This is really blowing me away. They got a couple more releases I've never seen anywhere else on vinyl, CD, or anything that I would like to track down. They actually have one just come out in 2015. So there was lots of years of not being active, it looks like, for this band. I think they had another one in 2010. So, but there's also a cover of Green Manalishi on here, and Judas Priest style, of course. But very cool. New wave of traditional heavy metal, but 2004. I mean, these bands were, I guess before it became like a thing, a scene, whatever. There was bands out there doing it, and this band definitely was. Alright, next up, knew nothing about this band either, other than it was an old album. I'd probably seen a cover, but I'd never heard this album. And it's Mindless Sinner, Turn on the Power. And this is from like 85, 86, right around in there, I believe. 86. Anyways, Heavy Forces reissue also. It's a killer label, man. They reissue some really good stuff. But these guys were from Sweden, and wow, this is a fantastic album. I think this was it. They had this album and an EP before that, which I also have. I haven't spun that one yet. It was reissued also, I think, with some bonus stuff. And here's the inner. But just killer, man. Really good album. Mid-80s heavy metal, Both, both on Heavy Forces. Just got both these in from a US seller, and both are just blowing me away. This one is just amazing. And like I said, I knew nothing about that band. Just kind of, it got reissued, so I checked it out. Love it. It's killer. Next, found this like probably around the beginning of summer. Finally spinning it. Probot, which is the thing Dave Grohl did like back in 2003, 2004. It's about 10 years old, a little older. I can see it here on it. Doesn't matter. Basically, if you're not familiar with this, Dave Grohl, drummer from Nirvana, main guy in Foo Fighters. Basically just recording all these songs at home by himself, from what I understand, and each song he recorded in a style for some of his favorite metal singers. Got a hold of all of them, and they all came in and sang. I mean, he's got Kronos on here, and Lemmy, Tom G. Warrior, King Diamond. And one of the really cool cuts is Jack Black. It's a hidden track at the very end. It's not listed or anything. And it's I Am the Warlock, I think. I think that's the name of it. Really good. I like that song. But this is interesting, yeah, for what it was. And honestly, I'm not a huge Foo Fighters fan. They're kind of like, I don't know, they're a band that has an amazing best of album. You know what I mean? Greatest hits. They could totally fill one of those. But individual albums have killer songs and then a lot of filler to me. Which, you know. But I give it to Dave Grohl, man. He's kind of, you know, he's an interesting guy, and he's keeping, you know, he might be probably the last true rock star out there. I don't know if there'll ever be any more. But, you know, yeah, I was a big Nirvana fan, so. Alright, moving on. A big welcome back to Raul. Citizen Toxie 69, I believe is the last, or is the number. Welcome back, brother. You know, good to see you making videos again. If you haven't checked out Raul's channel, do so. Killer VC member. Hadn't been around making videos much for a while, but he's back. He did a video about a label called Riding Easy, and he showed this album. It's Electric Citizen. And this cover immediately caught me. It's like killer. So here's the label. So I went and checked it out and really dug it. It's kind of like that occult kind of metal, hard rock, I guess you could say. I wouldn't even say metal, but it's got some 70s hard rock leanings in it. Check out some of their videos. They have a couple on YouTube. I can't remember the one, but it's fantastic. It kind of reminds me of the old Sabbath video where they're on the cross with the orange amps and everything. Really cool band. Thanks for turning me on, Raul. Really digging that. Alright, next up, a couple things that just kind of pulled out to spin. UFO, Strangers in the Night. Just pretty sure we all know this album. If not, you should. If you dig UFO, if you dig 70s hard rock. What was it, 79? You know, end of the 70s for UFO. This is a killer live album. Just check it out for sure if you've never heard it. This I've had in the Just In piles for years. I'm probably talking over 5 years, maybe 6, 7 years. Finally spun it the other day. I don't know why. I just kind of pulled it out. I was like, what the hell? And I will say the best thing about it is the cover. It's Lisa Dominique Rock and Roll Lady. This is so cheesy. It's on FM, which always thought had a cool label. But it's just somebody got a hold of this girl, I'm guessing. Looks like it's from England. And she's good looking and can halfway sing, and that's kind of stretching it. So let's see if we can make a star out of her. And they pretty much didn't. But they did, however, bedazzle her back pockets. Very nice. But this is just bad pop rock kind of stuff. Used to see it around a lot. I haven't seen it for a long time. It's worth a buck or two if you come across it just to hear it. I just kind of pulled this out. I hadn't heard it for a while. Damien Stop the War. It's really good 80s metal album. And I've shown this before. I showed it, I think, back when I picked it up. I think this was a find from when I was up around Chicago. What, a year and a half? about a year and a half ago. Very cool. And this actually been in the inbox for a long time, probably 4 or 5 years. I found it on a vacation down at Myrtle Beach. I ran into a massive amount of metal, and actually there's a video back when I first started making videos. I just filmed the box, I believe. I don't know, it's in there somewhere. But I ran into all this metal as soon as I got down there. It was like Monday. I went in this shop and they had all this import metal stuff, and I was flipping out. It was good prices, like 10, 12 bucks for like albums you never see. And I look up and there's a sign, and I think it was 25 or 30% off on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I took the chance and left. Yeah, I gotta wait till tomorrow to get 25% off or whatever it was. And basically just thought about it the rest of the day, hardly slept that night, and went back and everything was still there. So I picked up a shitload on, that was probably the best score I've ever had on vacation. It was just crazy. But anyways, it's 220 volt eye to eye, and this is the I guess the UK cover. The US cover is different. It's like a greenish cover with the logo on it. Here's the insert. Sticker still on the bag here. It's English import, and you can see it had 12 bucks on it. All this stuff was like $10 to $12. It was crazy, and then 25% off or whatever it was. So I cleaned up there. But really cool melodic metal, hard rock, late 80s stuff. I mean, you can kind of tell. Just a cool band. Next, just kind of pulled this out. I was reading about Bon Scott, so I pulled out Dirty Deeds. This is on the, was it Albert? The Australian pressing. I'm sure everybody knows that. Total Blind Buy. Checked them out real quick. This came in a week or two ago. And to be quite honest, I haven't looked them up yet. I don't know a lot about this band. But I dug it. I've only spun it twice. But dug it so far. It's Spell, the Full Moon Sessions. And it's newer. I can't remember the year. Like I said, this was a total, 2014. It's on Hard and Heavy. I got it out of Canada, which Hard and Heavy is up in Canada. Very cool. Here's the label. Kind of like, man, these guys are a little hard to peg. They have of course, a little bit of that occulty, dark kind of a sound to them. They're not real heavy. They have some hard rock to them, some 80s metal to them. It's just a very interesting band. And like I said, they're not easy to peg, which I kind of like that about them. So we'll be spinning this more, and I need to look them up. If you know anything about them, please leave a comment. It's I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's an EP. Yeah, it has 7 tracks total, 3 on one side, 4 on the other. But cool album. Had this for a while. Slaughterhouse, Face Reality. Just old thrash. It's like late 80s, I think. 91. Cool album. Used to see this around all the time. I'm trying to remember, was this Metal Blade? Yeah, it's on Metal Blade. Haven't seen it around for a while. And last couple non-metal. McCoy Tyner, Time for Tyner. Just pulled out a jazz album to check out of the jazz box I've talked about, ones I need to spin. Yeah, it's a Blue Note reissue from whenever. Looks like I paid $3.50 for this one. It's like mint condition. And I picked this up a while back, and it always makes me think of the guys at Grown Man Record Night. But of course, Jimmy Castro bunch. they're always playing this, talking about this. So I found a copy, not in the greatest shape. The cover's in killer shape. Vinyl's a little noisy, but picked it up for like $3. Yeah, $3 somewhere. So hopefully a better condition vinyl will pop up at some point. Okay, that's all I had to really show. And now I'd like to kind of talk about the records behind me. First off, I didn't just put them up to be a dick to show how many copies I have of that. I put it up to kind of to make a point and to ask a question. Or not to make a point, but to make a comment, I guess. Just talking about collecting records, and we jokingly say how much, you know, it's like a disease, and it truly is. It's just, it's a freaking disease, man. I mean, you can see behind me here, and that's over years, you know. I mean, the one with the sticker right here, I bought that like the day it came out. You know, that's my original. And the other ones I picked up over the years, all at good, you know, cheap prices. And I think I picked up one or two other ones along the way. I know one, I believe I picked up for LJ. And there might have been another one at some point. I can't remember. Anyways, like I said, I picked them up for good prices. It's not like I paid a bunch for any of these. But it's an album that I love. And I pick up anytime I see for a good price. And to be honest, I mean, I love all the 80s Metallica stuff, but if it comes down to it, I can only keep one record that they put out in the 80s. It probably would be the 598 EP or the 998 CD, yeah, whatever. But like I said, I just got thinking about it the other day, and I wonder if how many other people in the BC do this. And this isn't the only record I do it with. And it's not just records that I love. When I come across stuff that I like, you know, for $1 or $2, and it's in like perfect condition, I'll pick it up. You know, it's just a perfect example. Perfect example is Crocus, the Blitz. You know, this it was a great album. I loved it as a kid. But do I need, you know, 4 or 5 copies of it? No. But I guarantee you, other than my original ones in there I bought when I was a kid, the other ones I guarantee I didn't pay more than $2 a piece for. And it happens, like when we all buy boxes of, you know, you luck into a box of records somewhere at a yard sale, or somebody gives you a box of records. And there's stuff in there that you already have, but it's in fantastic shape, and the one you already have is in fantastic shape. What do? Do you keep, you know, another near mint copy, you know, or do you trade it on? I mean, I'm sure everybody does it different, but I'm just, you know, that's part of the sickness, to see if there's anybody out there as sick as me, I guess. I'm asking, you know, hey, VC members, anybody else out there this bad, you know? I'd love to see some videos, you know, or if nothing else, do like this, put some in the background. You got something of 3, 4, 5, 10, 12 copies, whatever. The worst I ever had was Kicks, Cool Kids. At one point, I had over 10 copies of that, because they're a semi-local band, and you used to see their albums all the time, and pick them up for $1 or $2 a piece. I actually weeded those out. I probably only have 3 or 4 copies now. But at one point, I mean, I had a whole big stack of them because I'd find them for $1 or $2 all the time, and they were in perfect shape. I sold some. I sent some out as VCLT, I think. Traded some. You know, still have a little stack. Like, these aren't for trade, aren't for sale, so don't ask. But, you know, just wondering if anybody else, and it could be anything, you know. You have jazz albums like this, blues albums, punk albums. It's just all about, you know, and I only do this with used stuff when I'm out digging, which is part of the reason I don't go out digging as much anymore. I'm trying to cut this kind of shit out. But, you know, I don't buy new albums like this. But whenever you come across something that is in killer shape and it's $1 or $2, you know, $2, $3, you already have it. You already have a couple copies of it. Man, do still pick it up. I still pick it up with every intention of trading it, send it to somebody, BCLT, which happens occasionally. But a lot of times, once it hits my shelves, the main collection, it's there for good. It's very rarely do I get rid of anything that I've logged into my database and it's on the shelves, you know. But I'm rambling, so I guess consider this a question for a thread, and yeah, you can answer in the comments below. Tell me I'm out of my gourd, which I fully understand that, know that. I'm sick. I'm record sick. But it'd be great. Make a video, man. Show some of the crazy duplicates you got, you know, or show them behind you. You don't even have to talk about them. Just put them behind you and be goofy. You know, who cares? So I was just thinking about this the other day as I was going through, and I saw, you know, 2 or 3 copies of this, a couple copies of that, and I got to this, and to be honest, I didn't realize how many was in there, and it was kind of crazy. So, anyways, that's it, VC. Hopefully somebody will jump in here and prove I'm not the only one that's sick. Alright, later, VC.